Hey y'all, my name is Ashley and today I'm going to do a little Christmas tutorial. I'm going to be using Bailey Sarian's Melt collaboration where I kind of make a little bit more of a Gothmas, a little bit of a Creepmas look. So if you want to see how I got this look, then keep on watching. More of a black parade kind of girly, you know what I mean? Like, you got all your traditional Christmas stuff and I'm over here and, you know, I like things a little bit darker. So I figured instead of doing like a traditional like Christmas look tutorial, I'm gonna go ahead and do something that actually matches my nails. So I got my Creepmas nails on and I'm actually taking my kids to see Santa later today. And I'm going to wear my Seasons Creepings ugly sweater because we're all wearing ugly sweaters to see Santa. And I want to do a tutorial that's a little Gothmas-y using the Bailey Sarian Melt collaborations. I add an S on there because I'm actually going to be using both of my palettes. I am mostly going to be using the Fatally Yours too, but I also have Fatally Yours like OG over here. And I just want to do something a little bit more my style instead of your traditional. I already primed my eyes with the Beauty Creations Color Base Primer in the shade Ballerina Girl, and I'm just gonna dive on in. I am gonna start using this palette here, and I'm gonna start off with the black shade. So this is the shade Noir, and this is the shade I'm gonna be laying down in my crease. Now, I figure it'd be kind of fun to do, like every year I do Christmas pictures with my kids with Santa. And every year we've done like the cutesy photos, the pajama photos. This time I'm like, let's put some ugly sweaters on. We all have them. And that's how we're gonna take our pictures. I've only owned 2 different ugly sweaters. And one of them's like a drinking game where it's like a Velcro bullseye on the front and then the rolls are on the back. It's if I'm going to a holiday party. It's not something I'm gonna go wear with my kids around. So I was like, well, I've got this one, that's a drinking game. Or I can wear my Merry Creepmas one that has like skulls on the sleeve. It lights up. It says Seasons Creepings. You know, I feel like that's kind of suitable for my style. Yeah, my kid's gonna be wearing like a Grinch one, and then my other one's gonna wear a Baby Yoda, and then my daughter's gonna have like her unicorn one on. But it's okay, you know, everyone's got their own likes and everyone's gonna be wearing them. So even if this comes out messy, like I'm gonna clean it up as I go. But I'm just kind of buffing that black shade in my crease because I am going to carve out my lid. And like when I was making this video, I was like, I can play with the new Bailey Sarian makeup, which I have been loving all month long, like since I purchased the collection. Or I can use Nomad's Polar Express palette, which is like on, you know, par for like the holiday season. It's got some blues, it's got some silvers, which has got that icy vibe that everyone really likes right now. And I thought about it and I was like, no, I wanna play with my Bailey Sarian makeup still. I love Melt Cosmetics and I love these collabs that she does. These are palettes I reach for all the time. And even though you can only purchase one right now, it's fun to play with. Even if the makeup's not out, it's fun to still play with that makeup that you own. Now, to smoke out that black, I'm actually going to be using the gray shade from this palette as well. And that is, oh, shocker, it's the shade Smoke. So I'm gonna use that matte gray and I'm just gonna dust it above the black so it just blends out, makes things look a little bit smoother instead of so harsh. And I'm just going to kind of blend that. And I'll probably darken up the black a little bit after I put my liner. I'm gonna do my liner before I do the rest of my eyes because I'm gonna be using the gel liners from Melt Cosmetics. And those tend to be a little messy sometimes. If I don't prepare myself, then it's gonna be messy. Like if I had all of my foundation on, it would become messy. But because I've like got no foundation on and I'm starting with the eyes, it probably won't be this messy. So I have the shade Scarlet, which was the shade that was just released. And I'm gonna use this for my wing. But I'm going to draw on a pretty dramatic wing. I'm using like the thinnest brush I own. This is a liner brush from a brand that unfortunately no longer exists, which is really sad because I like their liners. But I'm gonna use this brush to get that sharp wing. Okay, so I went ahead and added the exact same thing to the other eye. And originally I was gonna kind of cut the center, but I don't think I need to, so I'm not going to. But I'm now going to play with some of these reds within this palette. And I'm gonna start off with the matte red. So this is the shade Crimson, which is basically almost the same color as the liner. I think it's a little bit darker. And I'm gonna take that shade and kind of blend it in with that black I laid down from the outer corner. So I'm just gonna kind of place it like right here. And I'm kind of just using it as like a transition shade because I'm going to be using the little chrome pot that came with this collection to add that like Christmas sparkle. And then I'm gonna take a smaller brush and I'm gonna use the shade Fiery. So this is like the metallic red in this palette, and this is what I'm gonna be placing in my inner corner. So I'm going to blend it upwards to my lid. And then when I do my under eye, I'm gonna use a little bit of that as well. But this will blend really nicely into those little chrome gel shadow. Now before I dip into that chrome pot, I'm actually gonna buff out the shadows I've laid down with my loose setting powder. In a way, this is kind of turned into just using Melt products because right now my favorite loose powder is this one from Melt Cosmetics. This is the She's Alive Loose Translucent Setting Powder. This is really nice. Like, I really hope that this makes Melt come out with loose setting powders because I don't think they do. But if not, as soon as these go on sale, I'm buying like 5 because this is a really nice setting powder. It has like a really nice blurring effect. It's truly translucent. Even though it kind of looks a little bit peachy in here, it doesn't come off like, you know, a translucent powder sometimes can be white and kind of dusty. This one doesn't do it. I think that's what that little bit of pink in there does, or that little bit of peachiness. But it doesn't really have a brightening effect, but it is blurring. And it's just, it's a beautiful setting powder. And it's kind of replaced my Givenchy one. So, because, you know, Givenchy wanted to fuck that up for everybody. So now I have the chrome pot. So this is in the shade Tempt. And this kind of reminds me of Danessa Myricks Chrome Flakes, but it's more of like the whole thing's chrome. So there's like no flaky bits in here, but it has a really nice pink to kind of yellowish green shift to it. But it is a beautiful, beautiful gel shadow. And I guess because it's a shadow and not like a glitter gel, I personally was not a big fan of the glitter gels that came out with the first collaboration with Bailey Sarian. They just like, I couldn't get it to work right. And I don't know if that was like user error or if there was a problem with the product. I don't know, but I really like this. So I'm gonna pick it up on a silicone brush and I'm gonna use one that's like super precise because I want a nice clean line. But I'm gonna go ahead and lay it down in that empty space that I created, blending into the matte red and that metallic red, but taking it all the way up my crease. And I like to use a little at a time because I don't want to put too much on, but also you gotta let it dry down. So you don't want it to crunch. So using a little at a time kind of helps it dry down quicker. And I probably shouldn't be talking while I do this. So now I'm feeling a little opposite of Mary. No, I'm just kidding. So I'm kind of like, you know, got my hat on, I got my sweater on, but I now want to finish up my under eyes. I also, for my lips, I did use a lipstick from this collection, and it is the shade Julia. So it's the red. Where did you go? I found her. So I went ahead and applied the shade Julia. So it's this beautiful red. I cannot stop wearing this red. I did do a video where I talk about all my favorite red lippies. So I'll go ahead and like insert a little card for that. But now I want to do the under eye, and that's where the original Fatally Yours palette comes in, because there is this gorgeous deep green, which is what I'm going to use for my under eyes. So I'm going to take the shade, oh, I can't say it, but you know what, I'll put it right here. It's this dark green. It's kind of like a blue green, and I'm going to use it from my outer corner almost to the center, not all the way though, because it will blend real nicely with the black, but then I'll add that like, okay, this is kind of Christmassy because we put a little bit of green in there. You know, you got the reds and the greens. Okay, so I got it laid down. I'm gonna go ahead and buff out that green so it's a little bit more smudgy. And that little space that I left is where I'm gonna add some more of that metallic red from the newer palette, because I feel like that would tie everything in real nicely. So back into Fatally Yours 2, and I'm gonna go ahead and just pick up the shade Fiery, and I'm gonna go ahead and kind of like add a little bit more to my inner corner, blending it down into that green. I feel like she's a little messy, but I kind of like it because it kind of goes with that grungy vibe of, you know, the whole palette and, you know, Gothmas and stuff. But I do want to add a highlight to my face, but also my eyes. And I don't believe any of the Bailey Sarian collections had a highlighter. So I'm gonna go ahead and use one of my favorite pinky tone highlighters, and this one's from Anastasia Beverly Hills. I believe originally this was supposed to be a limited edition, but I have recently checked. This is still available on their website. This is the Glow Seeker highlighter in the shade Pearl. It's got a slight pinkness to it. I think this was for like Year of the Dragon. Is that what we're in? I can't remember. But it's the Glow Seeker formula, which I really do enjoy. So I'm gonna take this on a smaller fluffy brush, and I'm gonna kind of just like buff it right here, because I feel like it needs a little bit of a glow, and then down to the inner corner. But it has like an iciness to it. So I'm gonna go ahead and add that. Another pink tone highlighter I really like is Peppermint from Ofra Cosmetics, but I haven't recently, like I haven't checked to see if that one's still on Ofra's website. I'm not a person who just shops Ofra very often. Like I bought all those highlighters and then I don't think I've ever made an order since. And because it is winter and it's a Christmas look, I'm gonna put a little bit on my nose, take it back to 2016. And then finally, I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit on my cheekbones. Even though they're kind of glowing already, that's because I underpainted with a highlighter, which is something that I've been doing a lot lately. I love it. I use like a liquid highlighter and mix it in with my foundation after I put my foundation on, but before I powder. Lots of steps. And then add that. But you see, it has a really nice glow already, but I want more. So I'm going to take that same highlighter and just intensify it. Because 'tis the season to be jolly. I don't know if the adding makeup makes me jolly, but we'll just put the smile on anyway. So this is, oh, you know what we need? Mascara, BRB. Okay, now I have the mascara. I actually opted out on no lashes because the sun's still out and I hate putting my sunglasses on with lashes on, okay? It's annoying as hell to me. So this is it. And plus I found a mascara that kind of works for me in my lashes where they don't look short and stubby. And it is from Pat McGrath. It's the Dark Star one. But for my bottom lashes, I did use another Melt product. And this is the Damned Red Mascara. So this is from like the Dracula collection, like the Universal Monsters. I love it for my bottom lashes, especially when I'm using the red liners and have some reds in there. I went ahead and added this. But if you guys like this video, go ahead and like and subscribe, and Merry Christmas. Bye, y'all.